can't. Carolina can. We're scrambling over here. I was on a Zoom way too long, so I didn't get to prep this like I usually do. Oh, good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, bye. I'm sorry. So did you see it? Okay. Okay, great. All right. So I'm gonna go at um at 30. I'm gonna go in like 3 minutes is what I'm gonna do. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's find out what new music's coming out this weekend. On the drop, or I uh, I usually get a list from Quinn, and I tag artists, but I didn't get a list this week. Everything's a little screwy this week, so we're just gonna punt. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yep, that'll work. So we're all set. We got everything ready except okay. I am about to start my 30-second countdown.
What is happening, people? Welcome to the drop after a 1 week hiatus, I guess, right?
Yeah, people had enough of us.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Take a break.
Yeah. Anyway, Quinn Bishop, Cactus Music. We come to you live mostly every Thursday. We're a little earlier today. We're 12:30 is usually, but 11:30 today because of some scheduling and blah 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 blah. Let's get right to it. Let's talk new music, man. What do you got?
Well, if you didn't know, it is Rocktober. October, right? Well, the Warner Music Group and Rhino Records, every October, they do a series of reissues that are usually on colored vinyl and limited in nature. And this year, they've got a whole slew of them, but 3 really great ones that are out right now.
Let's go.
School of Rock soundtrack on orange swirl vinyl. And this has not been available on vinyl. I don't even remember.
I've never seen this on vinyl. This is so cool.
Yeah, you watch that movie once a month, right? It's great how this has resonated with kids so much and started a whole
School of Rock franchises. Kids are learning to be in bands and stuff. I love it.
Lou Reed, New York, his late period masterpiece.
Great record.
Everybody should have.
Great. Great record. And it's got Christmas in February on there. So, it's perfect for the holiday season.
And the last one in the series, which is going to make an excellent sleep face, I'm going to let you do that one. That's for our buddy Glenn Davis.
Look at it, man. Look at it. Yeah, Glenn Davis. Shout out to the voice of Houston soccer there. So, look at
He loves the Stones. Oh, that's actually really, really good. So if anybody's not familiar with the soundtrack, there's a great unreleased Stones song from this record called Memo from Turner, which Stones fans are crazy about. And soundtrack features.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, that's a great tune. It's really funky.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, next up, Rocktober. We're Phineas, who our watchers may know, is Billie Eilish's brother and producer.
Yeah.
And he's been predominantly a digital artist until late. This is his first full length, and it is called, I think it's just called Phineas, but super cool, weird, trippy artwork.
The artwork is really cool.
And we have hello.
Get on there.
Technical difficulty.
Oh, look at this.
We have autographed copies for sale here at the store. So if you're a Phineas fan, check out the signature, man. How kooky is that? Look at this guy.
That's a great.
Yeah.
He's been practicing. They had a lot of time in that bedroom to just practice.
I think he had to sign like 1,000 of them.
Right.
So that was it.
Well, you guys get the autograph stuff pretty frequently.
Pretty frequently. They do that for Universal Music Group in particular is great about doing it for indie stores to kind of drive sales for digital artists early on.
I love it.
This is a cool band, Joy Formidable.
Yes,
record
sir.
Into the Blue.
This is new?
New 3-piece Welsh band, and fronted by very cool. What is her name? It's like Ritzy. Ritzy, which is great. It's such a great name.
It's, I don't know, alternative poppy. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
still like a
so
3-piece
good.
rock vibe. They're a great band.
Oh
they
my
really
God! What was the song they had? I think it was like, it's been about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that it was like
it was kind of everywhere for.
Was it Falling? What was
minutes.
that song called? Yeah, you couldn't get away from it for a little bit there. It was everywhere. But yeah, such a good.
And they've got fans. They're bubbling it. They're one of those bands I think could really click at some point if they have the right song, right time, right record.
Love these guys.
Next up, one of my favorite bands from North Carolina, the DBs, power pop band from the late 70s and early 80s. And these are unreleased recordings. Super cool. If you like Big Star and REM and stuff like that, this is a great band and stuff that hasn't been available before. Demos of a lot of they had 2 records in the 80s that were landmark power pop records. So this is alternate versions from that.
Man, this kind of takes me back right here.
Yeah, and they were one of those bands that they were kind of done by the time it was their moment.
Right.
And
yeah.
Fragmented. And,
yeah. That whole, because they came out. I mean, Atlanta, right? I mean, Georgia.
Well, it's in South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina.
You said that. Yeah.
In Georgia, I mean, they were all kind of. There's like a circuit of college.
If I was paying attention, I would have gotten that. All right, go.
Hey, next up we have the White Stripes are reissuing the White Blood Cells album. Big record for us, really a breakthrough monster record for them, and we are going to have a limited amount of the peppermint colored vinyl, which is arriving. This is the regular edition. We're going to have that later today.
Yeah.
We have like 50 copies of those or something.
I remember when I heard Hotel Yorba, and I was like,
"Yeah, what is this?
What is it?" But I love it. Everything is good on here, man.
Yeah, that's really the record. I mean, I like the later records. I like the earlier records, but that's
they never made a record I didn't like. And I was mad at myself because I was like, a buddy of mine, shout out once again to my buddy John Severson, who had that knack for just picking stuff that, like, bands that were going to be really important. And he was like, White Stripes, and I was like, I don't get it.
You got it
eventually, but late. I wasn't there early enough. Whatever.
You came to the party.
That's what's important. That's what's important.
Next up, we're going to keep it garagey. Parquet Courts. This is a great
another good band
from New York. Kind of angular, arty, but garagey goodness. They have a brand new record, Sympathy for Life. There's an indie store exclusive variant on that, but super cool band. Check these guys out if you're not familiar with them. If you like your rock and roll served, kind of noisy but melodic.
Yep.
Great band.
Also great performance mini concert on the KXEP series.
I'll check that out. I haven't listened to that.
Really good stuff.
And we talk about these guys a lot. There's a brand new My Morning Jacket record.
Get out of town.
One of the kind of for super melodic, great band, great live band, borderlines on kind of jammy at sometimes, but great song, super melodic. One of the great vocalists, I think,
Jim James
of the rock era, modern rock era. And this is, I haven't heard a note. I'm really looking forward to sit down with this record this weekend. And they've been prolific. I think they already had a couple of records they were done before the pandemic happened. So we've been seeing a lot of music from them, and including we featured a live record like a month ago.
Good stuff. Colored vinyl.
Yeah.
Great band. Yeah, if you get a chance to see these guys live, do so. It's one of the best shows.
And so we're jumping to some jazz here. We've got two of the flagship jazz labels, which we seem to talk about with great regularity.
Got to say hello to Lisa, Bridget, and Rakisha. What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the drop.
Much appreciated. First up, Blue Note, Freddie Hubbard. I love this album title, Ready for Freddie. And Blue Note always had all those great album covers with the tint of different color. But this is one of his highly regarded recordings, featuring McCoy Tyner and Elvin Jones,
Wayne Shorter.
I mean, killer record. And I really like Freddie Hubbard because he tends to be funkier than his stuff kind of borderlines on times on. You get past some of the later records.
I don't own any of his stuff. I should.
Yeah, he's cool. There's a bunch of great comps out on them. But again, that's come out as a regular edition, which is affordable.
Man.
This is a big deal. A Love Supreme live in Seattle. There's only 2 documented recorded occasions where he performed A Love Supreme in its entirety.
Yeah.
And, this is one of them. It's getting crazy great reviews, and fans have been waiting for this thing since it was announced.
Right.
I think what's really interesting is, a lot of the Coltrane stuff is coming from his estate because Universal, that grew through acquisition, stored all of the repository for all their masters were that Universal. They stored them in an amusement park, which burned down.
Really?
So I think most of the John Coltrane masters. So a lot of these recordings and archival releases are coming from the estate's master tapes.
Cool stuff, man.
Yeah, this is going to be
cool stuff.
All right, you've been waiting all drawn for this.
Yes,
we're going to go full on metal, or as I've been told by people, dad metal.
Dad metal? I can't wait for this one.
Okay, this band is celebrating 50 years in the game, and they have changed with the times and just keep on rocking. Judas Priest. And this is a compilation featuring some of the best known recordings as well as some unreleased live albums.
Yeah.
We cannot talk about this band right now without saying how metal they are, that their guitar player had an aortic embolism on stage.
Right.
And, how crazy is that? But you're going to see there's a big box set coming out from them. This is the
Yeah. So good. I have a great live Judas Priest concert story that would take way too long to tell right now, but I'll tell you after the show.
Well, that'll be in the outtakes.
Yes, it'll be in the outtakes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. I know. I knew this was coming.
And I got to figure out how to position these. There are limited edition colored variants that have already sold out at the distributor of the early Metal Blade Slayer records. And these are the records that the Metal Blade label was.
Yeah.
This put them in business.
This is and one of the cornerstones of the creation of the thrash metal genre. In my humble opinion, I will tell you right now, and I will fight you if you have a different opinion. This is the greatest hard, like really heavy metal record of all time for me. I'm like, everything is here. It destroys anything you put up against it. It's just the most delicious brutality, start to finish.
Felt like I went on a couple of dates that looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good stuff. Essential, and all those records are widely available in a regular edition, but those are split vinyl color variants that they did just for fans, just to put them out.
Yes.
Stuff from time to time.
I mean, this is great. Like, I want all of this. This is Jesus.
Okay.
Let's stop doing this show.
Next up, big guitar player. Everybody knows. It was a super influential guitar player from Rage. Tom Morello has a new album, The Alice Underground Fire. And there are some covers on here with some guests. Most notably, do you know this? Do you know this?
He's worked with everybody. Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Highway to Hell with Bruce Springsteen and Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
So
he did a couple of tours with the E Street Band.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Just the fact that the guy learned a 3.5-hour set of music
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
and there weren't enough guitar.
And he's
players
also
on
doing
stage.
like Bloody Beetroots, and he's doing all sorts of stuff. The guy's Morello's amazing.
He stays
He's
busy.
amazing.
Stays busy. We have a new Dream Theater album, of which there is an indie store exclusive color variant on this as well. There's a regular edition, and of course, they can't do just one version of a record.
If you like your progginess,
Yeah.
John Petrucci and the boys, get your shred, get your. That's cool. All right.
Next up, we included them in the heavy section of the drop.
Right.
But, this is, as far as I know, their first acoustic, all acoustic record from the Melvins. And there
Yes.
are more songs on here than 36 songs on 2 CDs.
I did not know they were doing this, but it kind of makes sense, though.
Yeah, totally.
Buzz and the boys have always pushed, the envelope.
You could not call them predictable.
No. Another great live band if you've never seen them. Love it.
Again, don't call them predictable.
No, I won't, because I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, we have a quarantine album here, and I put these two records back to back because
right.
I think that this is what I call like old school chill music.
Okay.
Dean Wareham and Britta, husband and wife duo, they make great records. He was in Luna and Galaxy 500,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
which is one of my favorite like all time chill rock bands. Velvet Underground influenced. Their records are super cool, and this is a quarantine album they made while they were stuck at home.
What kind of stuff is it? Have you heard it?
I think it's there 2 records came out at once. I know one is mostly covers, and I think this is just reimagining of their
Got it.
previous work.
Okay.
Great band.
Understood.
And check them out.
Right.
And then taking it to right now,
Uh-huh.
more chilliness. There's a new Lana Del Rey record. The LP, I believe, has been moved to next week, but
Love her.
here she is. She's kind of confounding, I mean, I can never figure out with her records, like how much is the producer and how much is her. And,
Right.
But, cool. People love her.
Yeah. I don't own any of it, but I love it when it's on.
I do notice it when it's on. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm like,
this is
okay. Yeah. For sure.
Next up, this guy. I love this album cover. This guy, Pookie Lafarge, really kooky guy. This is his debut for New West. He's made records for Rounder before. Now lives in Austin.
I've heard the name, but I don't know the material.
It's country music, but it's definitely he's a genuine kind of oddball guy. No one's kind of making records like him. It's very kind of traditional music. In places reminds me of like old school string band, early American music. But
Right.
then it's like Hank Williams era kind of stuff. And he's got a really unique voice. Have not heard this one yet, but just out and deserves a mention because
There you go.
He's the only guy that sings like any of these records.
Sure.
Putting on here. And we'll keep it kind of on the folkier. Another, again, anniversaries are a big part of what we talked about.
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
And so it's the 50th anniversary of David Crosby's, I'm reading the sticker here, genre-defining psychedelic folk debut solo record.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. If I could only remember my name. And while, I'm a huge Birds fan, while I am, I've never really identified with him with all that much, but I know
Right.
people that this is a huge record for them.
Sure.
And musicians, love this record. I think because it's kind of just freaky and weird and out there. Of course, members of the Grateful Dead and his buddies in CSNY and Jefferson Airplane contribute to it.
And he sold off his catalog, right? Was
He
he one of
may
the guys?
have.
I think
He may
he
have.
did, and they were talking about that last year. He
You know
was
what's-
one of the early guys that did it, I think.
They're all doing it because they're getting these huge paydays
Yeah.
from they're settling with all the streaming services that weren't paying them any money.
Right.
And they're getting a huge paycheck from that. And once you got that, might as well go all in.
Yeah.
All right. We're rolling with the classic rock here.
Let's do it.
Keeping it for real.
Let's do it.
Another in the series of the 10-band One Cause limited edition pink vinyl. This is from Fillmore East, February 1970. The Allman Brothers Band. Their Sonic Journals. You know, they had a famous sound man that would record all of their shows. And thank God that guy was around and recorded all this stuff for posterity. This is regarded as one of their
the classic line.
They're being kind of mum on it, but you know, they're still being affected by it. So obviously, you know,
I think our general
company is very sensitive about cybersecurity.
The voice of D'Artagnan,
the Chilean News had requested that they
music lover. So this is cool, and you know, the giant mushroom I think is very apropos.
That says what it is.
It tells you what's going down right away.
And again, 10 Men, One Cause. Proceeds of the sale of this edition of this record benefits the cancer charity that funds caregivers in need as well as patients.
Love it. Love it. Right. Limited pink vinyl. You said that already. I think you said already.
All right, we got
stuff just keeps coming out of the little treasure box.
This is like
nuts.
This is the classic rock.
I love it.
Trove here.
I love it.
Elton's got a new Lockdown record. People are hearing about this because there's tons of guests. Dua Lipa, Charlie Puth. Help me out. Who else is on there?
Oh my God!
There's
can't. Brandy Carlisle's on here. Eddie Vedder's on here. Eddie's on everybody's album right now.
I think it's interesting that Elton at one point nobody wants to hear new music.
No,
he stopped making new records, but then
retired and then unretired. I think I can't even follow what this guy's doing.
Staying at home for a year and a half would probably make you want to. I mean, he's a musician. Right?
Yeah, he's got Young Thug and Nicki Minaj are on a track. Miley's on everybody's record right now. Well, I was talking about Miley Cyrus earlier. She's been she's been one of these people in music and entertainment and pop culture that I've most enjoyed watching since COVID.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, she's doing it. She's out there.
You know, and she hasn't really done anything that I've hated. I've liked because she's dabbled in a lot of covers and a lot of, you know, she did the Blondie cover. Right. She's on the Metallica tribute along with the rest of you and me are the only people not on the Metallica tribute.
I know. I didn't get the call.
Yeah. Anyway, but cool. Elton, go get it.
And this is there's a brand new Santana record, Blessings and Miracles, and this is noteworthy because it reunites him with the team that made his classic, his breakthrough record. That had Smooth featuring Rob Thomas.
Yes.
It's reunited with him on here. There's a bunch of guests, and I think he did an excellent job of, even though it was a mainstream record with other pop artists on it, it was still sounded like a Santana record. Like it was still, signature guitar playing. I haven't heard this yet. It's supposed to be great.
I've heard one song, and I didn't like it, but that's just one song. And he's Carlos Santana, and I'm not, so nobody cares. I mean, so it doesn't really matter. It's like, Ruben, how do you feel about Santana? No one cares.
He's one of those guys that's still great live.
It was the second concert I ever saw in my life. It was 1978 at the Coliseum.
Right on.
Yes.
Cool. That's was it?
And I could barely even see the stage for this giant cloud of smoke that was just because there was no ventilation in that building.
The Sam Houston Coliseum.
The smoke would start at the top and then it would just like descend, until you literally, if you were in the upper deck, you could not see the stage.
I am certain that it is not out of step with other municipal concert houses of the era.
Sure.
That was the worst.
The worst place, probably full of asbestos and God only knows what. Anyway, we digress.
And we're gonna head to the the big kahunas.
Yes.
These guys, 50th anniversary of Let It Be. There is a monstrous box set with outtake sessions. There's a documentary film coming out. They're finally going to release the actual original film, I believe, going into next year. This has benefited from the Gels Martin remastering process. So these records sound as good as they're probably ever going to sound. And
we got a minute.
We got a minute. So check that out.
First Beatles album I ever owned, and the only Beatles album I own. Don't hate me, but I love this album so much. Go, let's close with Rolling Stones.
This is for
Glenn Davis.
And we're going to do the lenticular cover.
God, I want this.
A whole unreleased show in there, and an album of outtakes. And look at that.
There you go. All right, guys. There you go. Tons of stuff. Get on down here. Cactus Music. They've got all of this and more. Holiday season's coming up. Get your gifts soon. Dude, it's always a pleasure. Quinn Bishop is the man. That is the drop, guys. We're out. We'll see you next week. Peace.